Hey everyone, this is RoboJack again. This is the first part of a series of tutorial videos on Out of Bounds in Echoes, or Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. So in this part I'm just going to talk about the basics of what Out of Bounds is, like some terminology and what it looks like when you're out of bounds. So the first thing you'll probably want to know is the term out of bounds. Basically it just means being outside of the normal boundaries of a room. So like if you can get above the ceiling or like behind the walls or below the floor, you would be out of bounds. Another term you want to know is wall crawling. Wall crawling just basically means it's a verb that just means you're going between rooms while you're out of bounds. So you wall crawl from room to room, basically. And the last term you want to know is secret world. A secret world is just the term for the out of bounds area, or the area that's outside of a room, basically. It's the term used in the Metroid community. So in order to get out of bounds, there's multiple ways to do it. It depends on what room you're in. So there are like probably hundreds of secret world entrances or ways to get out of bounds throughout the game, but it depends on which room you're in, like I said. So in this room, I'm going to show one of the ways to do it. Basically, in any room that has a morph ball tunnel like this, you can usually go out of bounds by basically screw attacking into the morph ball tunnel if you have screw attack. That's a pretty common way of getting out of bounds. It's prevalent throughout the game, but it's not the only way. There are other ways to do it, and in terms of those other ways, you can just look up videos on YouTube for those. Depends on what room you're looking for. But I will demonstrate what screw attacking into a morph ball tunnel looks like, or how you do it exactly. So there's actually two ways of doing it. One of them is by using it's called a fizzled screw attack, and I'll show you what that looks like just out here. So a fizzled screw attack is where you just jump twice and then press B a third time, and it does like the beginning of a screw attack, but you don't actually jump forward. So I'll show you that right here. Just like that, where I just fell forward and I didn't actually do a screw attack. That's called a fizzled screw attack. Another way of getting out of bounds in morph ball tunnels is by using a canceled screw attack. A canceled screw attack is where, it might be a little hard to do that in this room, but I'll try it. So it's basically where you do a screw attack jump, but you press B twice really fast to cancel it. So I'll show it right here if I can do it. See how I like stopped short right there? That was because I pressed B twice right after doing the screw attack, and it canceled it. I'll show it again if I can do it here. Just like that, where I fell really fast. It's because I pressed B twice to cancel it. But yeah, there's two ways, those two ways. Fizzled screw attacks and canceled screw attacks are usually the best ways of getting out of bounds. Now you can also do a normal screw attack, just like a normal screw attack jump into a morph ball tunnel to get out of bounds, but it's a little bit harder to do. But for this specific morph ball tunnel, I'll just do a canceled, or a fizzled screw attack. I have to go a little bit farther forward. It takes a little bit of doing sometimes, but if you aim it right, just like that, there we go. So that's what happens if you are able to successfully screw attack into a morph ball tunnel. The game will push you out of bounds. So right now I am out of bounds, and this is what it looks like when you're outside of a room. Now this is just one of the rooms in the game. Like, what the out of bounds looks like is dependent on the room you're in. Usually all the rooms in a particular area of the game, so like Ag and Wastes, which I'm in right now, they usually all look about the same, with this kind of a gray, cloudy void. But depending on what area of the game you're in, it might look different out of bounds. But this is the general look of it. You have the room in the middle, and then everywhere around it is just like a big void of nothingness, pretty much. So this is what another out of bounds area looks like. It's the same type of thing where you have the room in the middle, and then you have the void area outside. It's just the void looks different, but the physics of it is all the same. It just looks different depending on what room you're in. Here's another example of what out of bounds looks like. This is out of bounds in Sanctuary Fortress. It actually looks really cool with like the lights and like the city type of thing down at the bottom. but it's still the same type of thing where you got the room in the middle and the void all around it, basically. It just looks different depending on what room you're in. So that's pretty much the basics of Out of Bounds. In the next video, tutorial video in this series, I'll talk about how to navigate around rooms when you're out of bounds. Yeah, look out for that video, and I'll see you there.